We all knew it was coming. We all knew it was gonna have to happen someday. No one wanted to think about it, but we got tased.
Definitely pick tasing over OC spray, like way over OC spray. I think I would probably rather get tased 10 times.
I still cringe at the sound of taser, taser, taser.
It doesn't stop you from functioning or anything, it just makes you extremely uncomfortable.
Gas, gas, gas!
So we had our first uniform fittings for our tan uniforms that we'll hopefully eventually be wearing out on the road.
Just seeing yourself in those uniforms, such a cool experience. You realize like, wow, this could be me in a few more months.
Honestly, it was probably one of the first few times that I actually smiled really big while being here at the academy. I had seen the seniors multiple times, in their uniforms, seeing the black bags hung up. So when I finally saw mine with my name and, like just my personal uniform, it was amazing. It was an awesome feeling.
We're one more step closer to, our ultimate goal.
It turned around the next day, we got OC sprayed, and that was another experience I will never forget.
I knew that it was going to be painful, but I didn't realize how painful.
And one injury from OC over the years of all the exposure.
Me and the other two company commanders went first, kind of like an esprit de corps thing.
It is effective. No, but it's gonna happen.
They get you with the 3 sprays from the bottle.
CHP, 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 15, 16, 18, 19, 20.
Then you're supposed to open your eyes and count out how many fingers are being held up to your face, and it took me a while, and that was with me forcing them with my fingers.
I think the worst part of OC is just the time that it takes you to recover.
I knew it was gonna suck, but I didn't know it was gonna be that bad.
There you go, blink, 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 blink.
It's like spiciest pepper you can think of, just thrown in your eyes and your face, and
Blink, blink, blink.
I wouldn't wish that upon anyone.
Pretty much have to sit there and walk around like a madman, blinking my eyes all crazy.
It honestly felt like I could fry an egg on my forehead because my forehead was so stinking hot.
Telling myself, this sucks, it hurts, but good, it's good experience, it's what you need to learn when you do deploy your OC, how the subjects react. So now you know what it's like and what kind of aid you can assist them with. Also, most importantly for me, just because your eyes burn doesn't mean you can't give commands. You can't go out and not look for cover, just at the end of the day, you have to be prepared for absolutely everything.
Everything that we use, we have to be, exposed to it. So, looking forward to tasing and gas, not really.
Now, let's say I have 2 suspects, right? So, slide over here a little bit. You have pointed at them to do it, you know
I got tased in my last class, and I wasn't 100% sure that we were gonna have to get tased this time around. But I know for a fact that if I was a choice, I would be not gonna happen.
Completing that connection, this is what it'll sound like.
Being tased is not something that I would recommend doing if you can avoid it. It is easily the most pain I've ever experienced in my life.
I still cringe at the sound of taser,
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 taser.
taser, taser! Ah! Ah!
It's an entire separate category of pain than just anything else that exists.
Okay, but just take a quick look. Make sure the probe is completely
The
intact.
taser cycle only lasts for 5 seconds. That is the longest 5 seconds of my life, and anyone else who's been tased will tell you that.
It is the worst 5 seconds of your life. Like, your chest tightens up, your hands tighten up, your whole body is stiff.
Taser, taser, taser!
If we're gonna be walking around with these tasers on our belts and potentially using them, we have to know what kind of effects it has, and just like OC. If you taser someone and you're giving them verbal commands to maybe, you know, roll over on their stomach, show their hands or something like that, you need to realize they're not going to be able to do that most likely.
The whole point of the training is obviously the same as the OC, to know what you're, you know, going to end up doing to somebody. Understand is like what their movements will be. I mean, to understand that if you're tasing somebody and tell them to put their hands behind their back and they don't, they're not necessarily not following your orders. They just can't. Like physically, they cannot. When they were saying that some of the retreads should do it again, I looked right at you guys and was like, no, I'm not doing it again. There's no way. I stand with Perez. I know he was being pressured. Oh, do it with your class as a company commander. I wouldn't have done it either, dude. Like, I stand with you, Perez. We have a clear memory of how to do it, and we didn't do it that long ago.
Even though I hated it, I think it's a very good experience to be able to feel what exactly happens when you deploy a tool on your duty belt.
As horrible as it was, getting tased, just like getting OC sprayed, is an important part of our training.
Now I'm presented with another threat.
I now know what kind of an effect it has on people, and you could read about that, you could watch videos about it, but unless you actually experience it, you don't really know. And now I know exactly how I might need to and might want to use it for the best results in the field.
The day of the CS gasp, we're just all like, you know, sweaty palms, like, you know, knees weak, arms are heavy. And we see the gas and we're just like, oh my God, this is gonna be terrible.
All right, listen up. Safeties, maintain control of your person. One hand underneath the arm, one hand on the wrist. You're just guiding them through.
And it was my turn, and I remember that black gas was just everywhere, and you walking towards it.
And Parker goes in with the gas on. You don't. You have to breathe it in.
And then you get a whiff of it, and you're like, oh man, that's CS gas for sure. You know, it's not air.
They're setting them off, and you're walking through big white clouds of gas. It looks like smoke.
Keep breathing, short, shallow breaths. Short breaths.
So I figured the less I breathe, the less gas I breathe in, the less it'll hurt. That's absolutely true, but fun fact about human beings is we need to breathe.
No, it wasn't that bad at first, so I was like, okay, let me just take small breaths. It hurts, but I'm like, I'm good. And then like, not even a second later, I think I get the full effect. Oh my gosh, it's awful.
About 2/3 of the way through the gas, I'm like, hey, this isn't so bad, I'm doing pretty good. And then when the officers noticed, he's like, hey Martin, breathe or you're gonna pass out.
Don't hold your breath.
And as soon as he said that, I kind of like thought about it and I'm like, whoa, I'm getting lightheaded, this is bad. I gotta start breathing.
Keep breathing.
And not only did I have to start breathing at that point, but it's like recovery breathing. And that was right when we were going through the worst and thickest part of it.
I'm just like, and I'm just, at that point, I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna throw up. I start coughing and I'm like, and when you cough, you take a breath in. So I'm like, oh God, it doesn't get any better because you're breathing it in again.
It doesn't stop you from functioning or anything. It just makes you extremely uncomfortable, which is what the purpose of it is. I'd say OC is way worse, but we got through it. There's a lot of camaraderie between the cadets. I enjoyed that portion.
It was quite the experience, but hey, nothing like experience something like that with the rest of the cadets, so that just brought us closer.
It's amazing how people become so tight and so close with each other in such a fast amount of time when you're going through something difficult. And you have this basic understanding of everyone else here, where you kind of know what their life is like, and there's a lot of vulnerability to that, and you become just close with people because of it.
It's like the difficulties are, you know, bringing everyone together. You finally get senior status, you can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Our senior class just graduated. Watching them and seeing how happy they were gave me the motivation that I need to continue.
You're gonna run into a lot of crashes, people who are gonna be fighting for their lives. I wanna know what to do.
I was in the passenger seat and I thought to myself, there's no friggin' way I'm gonna be able to drive this fast. I'm freaking out.